Shrunken Heads. Is this a bad movie? Yes. Well, let's get into it. Shrunken Heads is from 1994. It lasts about an hour and 25 minutes. It is a horror comedy from Richard Band, the director of Ginger Dead Man. Another classic. What's the tagline? Sitter heroes from their heads to their necks. Alright. So, three young boys in small town America. Tommy, Billy and Freddie. Yeah, Freddie's a new kid. He's getting to lead dice on gangsters. Vinny and his gang. Yep. And Vinny and his gang. And the kids. They're all from the 1960s. Yeah. There's something familiar about this opening. Yeah. Have you ever seen It? Stephen King's It? The original? Oh yeah, the TV movie. That's exactly what it's like, actually. Even the way Tommy speaks is very much like Jonathan Brandis's character in It.
Well, I'm Tommy Larson. This is my sidekick, Bill Turner.
Yeah, right.
Well, my name is Frederick Merriam Thompson.
Here, you want one?
Sure.
Do they always call you Frederick Merriam Thompson?
Well, you can call me Freddie.
Freddie, who's the new kid, he's African American. He's got a stutter at times. He uses an inhaler. He and Bill are kind of like composites of the other characters from It. That's exactly what it is. Well done. Yeah, I'm a genius. Right, okay. Anyway, these three kids are shot dead. Yeah, well, I didn't think we were there yet, but they are gunned down in the street. They're about 11 years old. And Vinny gets upset because he crashes his car at some point. He sends his gang out to go and steal parts from an old lady's car. But Vinny's girlfriend Sally dumps Vinny, goes and kisses Tommy. She loves him instantly. Yeah. Tells Tommy what's happening. Tommy calls the police and gets Vinny's gang arrested. So Vinny has to go to his gang leader, Big Mo. Now, Big Mo looks about 19, but there's a reason for that. Yeah. So Big Mo gives him the nanny and he says, here, let's get those kids and teach them a lesson. So Vinny bails his gang out of jail. They get the three kids, tie them to chairs, and then basically they say they're going to teach them a lesson. Big Mo says, do you want to join my gang? Tommy says, no, we'll never join your gang. So, yeah, they're tied to a chair. I don't know what's going to happen to them, but Big Mo says, let's just teach them a lesson and let them go. Yeah, the nanny's to escape in the middle of the night. Excuse me. And while they're escaping, Tommy says, hey, let's wreck Big Mo's business. They take a bag of betting slips, which Big Mo, he runs illegal bookies, basically. Yeah, so it'll cost Big Mo a fortune. So Mo says to Vinny, take your gang, take these guns, and go and shoot these kids. Yet, so the three kids are standing in the middle of the street, and these other teenagers, and these older teenagers, execute them in the middle of the street. Yeah, Tommy, Billy and Freddie are no more. This is mental. They're children. Yeah. This movie, as far as a light-hearted horror comedy goes, it's not that light-hearted. One thing I like about it, the music. Oh yeah. Well, actually the main theme is composed by Danny Elfman. Oh, very fancy. Who's that? Danny Elfman did the music for Batman 89, he did the music for Beetlejuice, he did the music for basically any Tim Burton film has got music by Danny Elfman. How did Disney get a big shot like him? Well, it's only the main theme that's composed by him. The rest of the music is by someone else. It's very similar, it's fine, but not as good as the main theme, obviously. And the reason Danny Elfman did it is because the director of the movie was Richard Elfman, Danny Elfman's brother. That explains so much. Yeah. Anyway, back to the movie. The old man who runs the local newsstand, Mr. Sumatra. Yeah, and he's from Haiti. He's Haitian. And it's alluded to that he's got mystical towers throughout the movie. And then he goes to the funeral, sees the little boys in their caskets. Everyone's there, very sad. Yep. But then at night he sneaks back into the funeral home and cuts their heads off. Yep. He takes their heads home and boils them. He's making soup. He's not making soup, but he boils them in a big pot. Yeah, and adds in a dead cat. I don't know why, that he does.
Is a nice fat pussycat for seasoning, my boys. As fat as you please.
Yeah, it's a bit strange. Also, why are the kids' bodies still in the funeral home after the funeral? Surely they should be in the ground or cremated or whatever. Yeah, good point. The funeral is to say goodbye. It's not to be like, well, let's say goodbye and then keep the bodies for another 8 weeks. Weird. Very weird. Basically, he's taken the boys' heads and made them shrunken heads. Yeah, and then he brings them back to life. Awakens then. He says they've all got like magical towers. One of them can zap electricity. Yeah, that's right. One of them like just bites necks. And the third one just carries a knife. Yeah, he does. Just carries a knife in its mouth. And Mr. Sinatra, he takes a nut and just chucks it around his head. He chucks it around his apartment like injured pigeons. Yeah. So he's basically brought them back so they can have revenge on those who took their lives. Yeah, so then 1 year later, yeah, I don't know why they waited a year, but 1 year later, the heads are sent out to do their deadly work. Also, Sally, the girl who was Vinny's girlfriend and then started being Tawny's girlfriend, she's instantly gone back to Vinny. Yeah. One of the first things Tommy's flying head does is go in and see Sally while she's sleeping, and he notices she's wearing a gold necklace with a lock on it which says, "To Sally from Vinny." So that's not the first thing they do. No, the first thing they actually do, the heads are flying around and they see a woman being attacked by two guys. Yeah, one of them is called Stinky. Yes, he is. And they're going to have their way with this woman. So light-hearted. Yeah. So the first guy gets his throat cut by the head that carries a knife. The next one, he gets zapped and his neck bitten. Yeah. They're killed, the lady runs off, and then next thing you know, Stinky and his mate are back from the dead. Yeah. Except this, and now they're zombies and they're picking up litter. They are. They're cleaning up the city. Now, Big Mo and Vinny have been running a protection racket for the last year in this little town, and the only person who doesn't pay for protection is obviously Mr. Sumatra. Yeah, so Vinny says go and sort it out to his right hand man, Booger. Booger and his mate go to Sumatra's apartment and say, "Listen, we're going to shake you down, you need to pay us or there will be consequences." Yeah. So he releases the heads. The heads go after the two goons, they follow them home. Booger goes in for a shower while his mate watches TV. The heads fly into the shower, cut his throat and kill him instantly. Yeah, he doesn't even see it coming. Which is a bit of a shame. He'd like him to be like, "Oh my god." Yeah, well, he's not English, but yeah. Anyway, his mate notices he's been a while in the shower. 3 hours later he notices.
Man, you've been in there for 3 hours. Man, this water's freezing.
Yeah, he goes in and finds Booger is now a zombie and there are 3 floating heads hanging about there. Zombie Booger grabs his mate from behind and the shrunken heads zap him too. While this is going on, Vinny is in the backseat of his car with Sally and he's trying to pressure her into sex. Yeah. And he says, "Come on, you're almost 16. What? Who made this? Oh, Charles Band. Oh yeah.
Well, what do you mean you're not ready? I mean, you're almost 16, right?
Look, Vinny, if you can't wait, then maybe you better find yourself another girlfriend.
Then next thing you know, Sally is visiting Tommy's grave. She's saying, "I did love you, you know, even though they had spent 1 hour together. I really miss you." Yeah, so then Tommy says, "I'm here," and reveals himself as a flying, shrunken, disgusting head. Yeah, and she's signing it. Yeah, he says, "Let me give you one last embrace for old time's sake." Yeah, and he flies up her blouse. Yeah. Flies up her blouse, snuggles in for a bit, and then flies off. Yeah, she's like, okay. So she goes to Mr. Sinatra's house and says, what's going on? Sinatra explains the whole thing. Sally sees all three Shrunken Heads. She says to Tommy, Tommy, I've always loved you. If I didn't, would I do this? And she opens her blouse and he snuggles in to her chest and lies against her little bra. She's 15. Yeah. I mean, I don't think to her it's anything sexual, but come on, man. Who made this movie? This is not right. Later that night, Vinny is being chased by his old mates, the zombies, and other zombies, and he basically runs to Big Mo's and says, we need to do something. Big Mo says, it must be this creepy old guy, Mr. Sinatra. Let's go and sort him out. Then Mr. Sinatra is prepared. He says to Sally, we need to perform a special ritual to get rid of Digno and Vinny. Yeah. So yes, Sally, is your maidenhead intact? Yeah, this lady is worrying. It certainly is. She says, yes, I am a virgin. So he says, go into my bedroom and put on a special dress. So she does. And he's very happy. He says, if my ancestors could see you now, they would be most charmed. Lock this man up. Yeah, I think you need to. But next thing you know, Big Mo's hideout. There's a knock on the door. A guy opens the door, and Mr. Sinatra murders that guy straight away. Yet, and then he goes in, loads of zombies come in, and the three Shrunken Heads come in.
Lieutenant Colonel Aristide Pierre defeats Sumatra of the Tantan Makut. Retired.
There's a bit of a struggle, but Mo manages to get a shot off and shoots Mr. Sumatra. Yeah, and when he gets shot, everyone freezes. Yeah, all the zombies, the Shrunken Heads, they all just freeze and stop doing anything. So Vinny, No's girlfriend, who's innocent in all this, and hostage Sally get off in a car. Yeah. Mr. Sumatra quickly snaps out of being shot in the chest or whatever, and then they get into his car and they give chase. It was at this point, by the way, near the end of the movie, that I recognised Big Mo and realised why he looks like a young man. It's because he's a woman in her 30s. It's what? It's Meg Foster. Who? Do you remember Masters of the Universe? Of course. Yeah, Evil Lynn from that. She's also in They Live and several other 80s and 90s movies. She's a bit of a B-movie legend. Oh yeah! Is that her? Yep. It took me that long to figure it out because I saw her name in the opening titles and couldn't see her at all. Anyway, Big Mo is played by Meg Foster. Pretty amazing. Incredible. Anyway, back to the movie. During this chase, for no reason at all, there's a scene where Vinny's car drives a bus full of people off the road into the river. And they all have a big laugh about it. Yeah. The three Shrunken Heads catch up to the car, and one of them, Dill, he gets a shotgun blast in the face. Yep. So he's out of the fight. And then Freddy, his head gets squashed under the tyres of the car. Yeah. So now it's only Tommy remaining. Tommy smashes through the windscreen and goes right into Vinny's mouth. The car starts. Sinatra catches it. And they take the bad guys into the car. Digno's girlfriend says, what about me? Yeah, Mr. Sinatra says, you can go, fleshy one. Yeah, this guy needs to be in jail.
What do you want to do with me?
You can go wherever you please, little fleshy one.
So she runs off, reassuring them that no one would believe this crazy story anyway. Next thing you know, we're back at Sumatra's apartment. The boiling pot is on again, and Big Mo and Vinny are wrapped up in bandages like mummies. Yet, and then Sally reads a little, like, spell or something. Yeah, she recites something from this book in her special dress. And then, that's it. Yeah, we don't see what happens to Vinny or Big Mo. I don't know, are they just boiled to death? Are they turned into zombie slaves? Are they sent to the underworld? We'll never know because we never find out. Totally pointless. It is pointless, the whole ritual bit. And her kneading head stuff. Yeah, that's all irrelevant. Unneeded, unnecessary. So Sumatra says, Sally, that's it, it's all over. You can go home. And by the way, you can take the heads with you. They ticked up the one that's squashed beneath the wheel. They ticked up the one that is shot by a shotgun and repair them. And then Sally just keeps the shrunken heads. Lovely. 3 dead little boys' heads in your bedroom when you're a 15-year-old girl. She steps onto her balcony. The 3 heads fly up into scene and silently just fly off into the night. And that's the end of the movie. This has got traddlings. It has. It's not as bad as I was expecting it to be. It's not as cheap as I was expecting it to be. It's got a nice look about it. But man, this is not a good movie. It's disgusting, some of that. Yeah, all the teenage girl stuff could do without that in any movie. But Meg Foster being so unrecognisable and playing a pretty good part. The actors, for the most part, are fine. I don't think there's anyone I'm like, that guy's a terrible actor or she's awful or anything. I think most of it's fine. But is it a bad movie? It's a movie with some real dad tarts. Okay, I think I'll agree with that. That's quite fair. I don't think I'll watch it again. I probably would. Well, skits and scenes. Didn't I watch the funny bits again? Okay, the comedy's okay for what it is, mostly. But you're not going to be missing out if you don't watch it. Anyway, let us know what you think of Shrunken Heads from 1994. Hit like, hit subscribe, watch another video.
Really? Up this time, Stinky.